The most common mistake about leg circulation after 50. What if what almost everyone recommends to improve leg circulation after age 50 is actually delaying your recovery? Even when done with discipline. Even every day. Most people always hear the same advice: walk more. Walking is good for the heart, the joints, and the mind. That's true. But when it comes to leg circulation, especially in people over 50 or 60, this advice alone may not be enough, and in some cases, it can create a false sense of security. Circulation problems are not just about cold feet or swollen ankles at the end of the day. They are silent signs that the vascular system is struggling. When ignored, they can lead to wounds that take a long time to heal, recurring infections, loss of balance, falls, and in more serious situations, severe complications that directly affect independence. The main point here is not to move more. It's how the body is activated. There is an internal system responsible for returning blood from the legs back to the heart. A system that depends on specific muscles, proper contractions, and stimuli that many people have never learned to use correctly. That's why many people walk every day, wear compression socks, elevate their legs at night, and still feel heaviness in the legs, persistent swelling, numbness, or insecurity when climbing stairs. It's not a lack of effort. It's a lack of proper activation. This content isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to give you back control. When certain muscles are activated the right way, circulation improves, balance becomes stronger, and confidence in movement returns. Small adjustments make a huge difference. Throughout this guide, you'll learn 5 simple movements, even used in real rehabilitation protocols, that help activate what many call the body's second heart. They were designed for the biology of those over 50, with no impact, no exaggeration, and no unnecessary risks. And it all starts by understanding why walking alone doesn't always solve the problem and what piece is missing. For years, walking has been treated as the universal solution for almost everything. And in fact, it is an important habit. The problem begins when it's presented as the only answer to improving leg circulation after the age of 50. What almost no one explains is that walking, the way most older people do it, is usually too light to activate the muscular system responsible for pushing blood back to the heart. Short steps, a comfortable pace, and movements driven more by momentum than by strength drastically reduce the stimulation needed for this venous return to happen efficiently. There is a group of deep muscles in the legs that functions like a true hydraulic pump. They compress the veins with each contraction and help the blood overcome gravity. When these muscles are not intentionally activated, blood tends to pool in the ankles and feet. The result shows up gradually: swelling, a feeling of heaviness, cold feet, tired legs, and insecurity when moving. Studies show that walking only begins to produce real improvements in circulation when done at a faster pace, something many people over 60 either can't do or shouldn't do for safety reasons. This creates a dangerous dilemma. The person walks because they were told to walk, but they don't get the expected benefit and start to believe the problem is their age or that their body is failing. That's not it. What's missing is targeted activation. Simple movements, done in the right place, awaken muscles that regular walking doesn't reach. These muscles are essential for reducing swelling, improving foot temperature, increasing stability, and lowering the risk of falls. When this activation doesn't happen, a silent cycle begins. Less circulation creates more discomfort, the discomfort reduces movement, and the reduced movement worsens circulation even more. Over time, simple tasks start to require more effort and confidence. The good news is that this cycle can be broken. And it doesn't require a gym, impact, or complex exercises. It only requires the right movements, done with awareness. There is one exercise so simple that many people ignore it. Some even think it's too basic to make a difference. But in clinical practice and rehabilitation protocols, it's treated as one of the pillars of healthy leg circulation. We're talking about a movement that directly activates the calf muscles. Calves aren't just for walking. They act as a powerful pump that pushes blood from the legs back to the heart. That's why, in medicine, this region is often called the second heart. Every time these muscles contract properly, they compress the deep veins and help the blood move upward against gravity. The problem is that, over the years, this mechanism becomes increasingly sluggish. Long periods of sitting, low muscle activation, and automatic movements cause this pump to work below what's needed. Blood starts to pool in the ankles and feet, oxygenation drops, and the feeling of heaviness increases. That's where the first key movement comes in. Sitting in a firm chair with your feet fully flat on the floor, slowly raise your toes while keeping your heels on the ground. Then, do the opposite, press the balls of your feet into the floor and lift your heels, as if gently pressing a gas pedal. This simple cycle activates the calf muscles in a direct and safe way. When done slowly, this movement begins to wake up the circulatory system. Studies show that regular repetitions throughout the day help reduce swelling, improve foot temperature sensation, and lessen nighttime leg discomfort. All of this without impact and without straining the joints. The key here isn't strength, it's consistency. 20 to 30 repetitions, 2 or 3 times a day, already create a powerful stimulus. It can be done while watching TV, reading, or resting after meals. This movement is the foundation. It prepares the body for the next exercises and creates the first push to get the blood flowing better. Without it, the other movements lose part of their effect. Many people believe that walking is enough to keep the legs strong and circulation active. And, in fact, walking is important. The problem is that, after a certain age, the body changes the way it moves. Steps become shorter, the impact decreases, and some muscles simply stop being activated as they once were. Among them are the muscles at the front of the thigh and the deep muscles of the hips. These muscles play a fundamental role not only in strength but also in returning blood from the legs. They function as large natural compressors of the deeper veins. When they are weak, blood has a harder time flowing upward, fatigue sets in more quickly, and simple tasks start to require more effort than they should. That's why many people walk every day but still feel heavy, unstable, or tired legs. The movement that corrects this is simple, safe, and extremely effective. Sitting in a firm chair, with your back well supported and your feet on the floor, slowly extend one leg forward, lifting it as far as is comfortable. The knee doesn't need to lock completely. The most important thing is control. Hold the leg elevated for 2 seconds, then slowly return to the starting position. This seemingly simple gesture deeply activates the thigh muscles. Unlike walking, in this case the muscle has to work in an isolated and conscious way. That's exactly what brings back strength, stability, and improves circulation. When this exercise is done regularly, many people notice something interesting. Getting up from a chair becomes easier, climbing stairs takes less effort, and the feeling of heaviness in the legs gradually decreases. This happens because blood starts to be pushed more efficiently back to the heart. Ideally, you should perform 10 to 15 repetitions with each leg. The movement should be slow, without momentum, and without leaning the torso forward. Keeping the back supported forces the right muscles to do the work. Over time, it's possible to slightly increase the difficulty by using a small ankle weight or a resistance band. Even so, the focus remains on control, not on load. This exercise doesn't just improve circulation. It protects independence. People with stronger thighs walk better, trip less, and feel more secure in everyday movements. There is a very common mistake when it comes to leg circulation after age 50 or 60. People think it's enough to just move their legs, but they forget something essential: the body needs to learn to support its own weight with control. That's where a simple but extremely powerful exercise comes in. Unlike regular walking, this movement teaches the calf, ankle, and hip muscles to work together in a coordinated way. It not only pushes blood upward, but also prepares the body to react when something unexpected happens: an uneven surface, a stumble, a poorly lit staircase. The exercise begins standing behind a firm chair or near a countertop. The hands are used only for light support, not to hold body weight. With your feet hip-width apart, slowly lift your heels, rising onto the balls of your feet. But here's the detail that makes all the difference: at the top of the movement, you need to pause. This 2 to 3 second pause intensely activates the calves. It's at this moment that the so-called second heart kicks into full action, compressing the deep veins and pushing the blood back to the heart. After the pause, the heels come down slowly, over about 3 seconds. This slow control is what transforms a simple movement into a true therapeutic exercise. When done correctly, this exercise improves circulation, calf strength, ankle stability, walking confidence. Many people report that after a few weeks, their feet feel warmer, swelling decreases, and the feeling of insecurity while walking begins to fade. The ideal is to start with 8 to 10 repetitions. Over time, you can work up to 15 or 20, always focusing on the pause at the top and the control during the descent. This exercise is widely used in rehabilitation protocols because it doesn't overload the joints and still provides deep stimulation to the circulatory system. And there's an extra benefit that almost no one talks about. When you practice that pause at the top, the body learns to stabilize on one foot for fractions of a second. That's exactly what happens when you trip. Those who don't train for it lose balance. Those who do, recover. There is a movement so simple that many people ignore it. Some even laugh when they see it. Others think this isn't exercise. But science is clear, this movement is one of the strongest indicators of falls, loss of mobility, and even reduced life expectancy after age 60. We're talking about standing on one leg. When you support yourself on just one leg, something powerful happens inside the body. The ankle, calf, knee, hip, and abdomen all activate at the same time. Not explosively, but in a sustained way. This continuous contraction keeps blood circulating, activates the second heart for longer, and at the same time trains the nervous system to react quickly. Unlike walking, where the body never spends enough time on one leg, here the challenge is maintaining control. And that's exactly what prevents falls. Studies show that people who cannot hold their balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds have a significantly higher risk of falling in the following year. This doesn't happen just due to weakness, but because of failures in communication between the brain, muscles, and joints. The good news is that this system responds quickly to training. To begin, stand next to a chair, wall, or countertop. Lightly rest one hand for support. Shift your body weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just a few centimeters off the ground. There's no need to lift it high. Breathe normally. Try to hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds. Then, switch legs. In the beginning, it's normal to feel the ankle shaking or the body trying to adjust. This is not weakness, it's the nervous system waking up. With practice, the body learns to stabilize better. Circulation improves because the muscles stay active for longer. Walking confidence increases. And something very important happens, the fear of falling begins to fade. Fear makes a person walk stiffly, tense, with short steps. This worsens circulation and increases the risk of falling. When balance improves, the body relaxes. Walking becomes more natural. Blood flows better. The ideal is to do 2 sets on each leg every day. Just 60 seconds a day already produces results. And here's an important detail, it's not about being perfect. It's about training the body to react. Even small imbalances during the exercise are part of the process. This simple movement protects circulation, balance, coordination, independence. There is a movement so simple that many people go years without realizing the real impact it has on the body. It doesn't require equipment, doesn't cause joint impact, and can be done at home, but it's considered one of the pillars of vascular rehabilitation worldwide. This movement directly targets the most important point of leg circulation, the calves. Calves are not just for walking. They function like a hydraulic pump. Each time they contract, they compress the deep veins in the legs and push blood back toward the heart, overcoming the force of gravity. When this pump weakens, blood pools in the feet and ankles, causing swelling, heaviness, pain, and, over time, the risk of wounds that don't heal. The exercise begins standing behind a firm chair or countertop. Feet should be parallel and hip-width apart. Hands should rest lightly on the support, without transferring body weight. The movement is slow and mindful. Raise your heels until you're on the balls of your feet. Go up slowly. Once at the top, hold the position for 3 to 5 seconds. This hold time is what makes the difference. It's during this moment that the calf performs its maximum pumping function. Then, lower your heel slowly, controlling the movement for another 3 seconds. This rhythm of slow rise, hold, slow descent transforms a simple gesture into deep stimulation for circulation. It's not the quantity that matters, it's the quality of the movement. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. As days go by, increase to 15 or 20, always respecting the control and pause at the top. People who practice this exercise regularly report very clear changes. Their feet stop feeling cold, swelling decreases throughout the day, the feeling of heaviness in the legs reduces, and walking becomes more secure. Another important benefit is the improvement of venous return during the night. Many people notice less discomfort when lying down and less need to move their legs to relieve the feeling of pressure. This exercise also strengthens the ankles, improves body alignment, and helps prevent falls not through brute strength, but through control. When the calves start working properly again, the entire system below the knee benefits. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and leave a comment.